It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go. Tuesday show, October 17, 2023. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox Local app. Glad to have them along with us here. And, of course, we are glad to have you on YouTube. Just follow our page, subscribe to our page, Woodward Sports on YouTube. Also, hit the like button for us. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
What's up, Ryan? How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic today.
That's good to hear, man. That is good to hear you sounding good. Tom Mazaway, I don't have much to say today, so I bring it to you, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks to the McDonald's fries earlier today.
Nothing better
I like
than
the way
McDonald's
Braylon
fries.
says McDonald's.
You had a little McDonald's?
McDonald's fries.
It's because my auntie, when I was in 1989, let me watch the bootleg of Coming to America, and it was at McDowell's.
Right.
So I never converted back to McDonald's.
They had the golden arch.
Had the golden
Arches,
arcs.
we have the golden arcs.
There you go. They got the Big Mac. We got the Big Mick. So it's McDonald's to me. I can buy them both.
Man, great to have Parker with us today. And on Tuesdays we have this guy, Kool-Aid. What's up, Kool-Aid?
Hey.
Yo, man, you guys are a riot, man. I love this show.
Awesome, man.
Doing
Mac.
good.
Appreciate you having us here on Tuesdays. Now, can I just get to the Lions? We'll get to the Monday Night Football game and all that stuff last night. Can I just open up today with saying it's Michigan State week? And I can't be less interested in any of the excitement, in any of the hype. I just want to get to Saturday. I want to beat their brains out. I want to win like 63-0.
Good bludgeoning.
And I want to get on to the next week.
I feel the same. It's so weird that we're now in this space, and I feel bad for what's going on in Michigan State because the players, they didn't ask Mel Tucker to do that.
100%.
Mel Tucker and Brendan, the whole situation.
Totally
I don't
agree
feel like
with you.
getting into it. The players didn't have anything to do with that, neither Harlan Barnett. So it's a shame that they have to deal with that. But with that being said, it's just not going to be a game. And you hope somehow that they can rally around the team and come out and fight. They're in East Lansing, maybe they had to do something for them. But, every coach that Michigan's playing against every week, what do they say? This is the best team I ever played against. This is the best team I ever played against. This is the best team I've ever been coached against. Meanwhile, you watch Michigan State struggle. It's just not going to be a game.
I just think about the last 2 years, Maz, in Michigan State week. In all the planning we did, we're going to have this guy on Monday and that guy on Tuesday. Then we'll come with these players on Wednesday and Thursday. And now I think as an audience, as a show, you kind of see where the tone is. You kind of see, you try to put your finger on the pulse of what the people want. And I'm not interested this week alone. So how could you be interested?
Amen. But they can rest their laurels, their hats on one thing. Today is the anniversary of trouble with the snap. So MSU could get their jollies off on that one. And did you see Taylor Lewan's tweet?
I did not see Taylor Lewan's post.
He went on a 2-minute spiel after he tucked his kids in bed. And I would have used it today, but it has so many F words in it that he basically said what you said. Look, we're just going to go and kick the living daylights out of him. We're going to put 60 on you. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And he's like, I got really nothing else to say. Good luck, Sparty. That's about it. You guys live in the past. It's now time to face your future.
But I will say, too, it's going to be a bludgeoning, and we talked about it yesterday, I think, a little bit, and it goes back to the Sparty, goes back to the past. Jim Harbaugh won last year. Jim Harbaugh lost the year before that. So he's 1-1 now in the last 2 games. I guarantee you he is going to want to put an exclamation on that stamping, and that's why hence the bludgeoning. If they put up 63, Ryan, wouldn't surprise me.
Well, there's no doubt, right? I mean, that is got to be one of the focal points of this game. You are playing at night before a national audience. You do want to really show people where you're at, and you also at the same time want to show the kids that you're, kind of recruiting. Maybe you're recruiting some of the same kids.
It's true.
You want to show them where they're at too.
Yeah,
you want to show everybody where Michigan State's football program is right now with just a flat-out bludgeoning of the Spartans this weekend.
It's been rough for the Michigan fans over the years. I mean, all these kids that were born in the last 15 years have grown up Michigan State fans because of what happened. Pride comes before the fall. Well, he's back on the sidelines this weekend, and Coach Pride comes before the fall is going to watch a bludgeoning this time, and it all comes back to the way it used to be.
It also sucked for the players that had left college and then went to the NFL and then couldn't brag on their team. I lost a lot of money on Michigan when I was in the league.
No,
but
that's the thing.
And I'm gonna still bet on Michigan. That is what it is. But I think a lot of it too with the fan base though. It's the Lions have never been this good. Right. So it's like if the Lions were still bad, or if the Lions were floating with 3-3 or 2-3, it would be more conversation about Michigan and Michigan State. But the Lions are 5-1, and for the first time in forever, they're the top of everybody's leaderboard. So I think that plays into it as well.
That gives me a jumping off point here. Woodward Sports own Tom Mazaway going to be hosting the Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Maz and special guests each week, directly following every Lions game, exclusively on WSN's YouTube channel. Interesting point you make, Braylon, because just last night, I'm watching the Monday Night Football game, and, it's fun when your team is good, you watch football a little bit differently. Yeah. So I'm rooting for the Chargers last night because they're playing for the Cowboys, and I'm envisioning this play like a number 1 seed or even a number 2 seed down the road. Maybe Dallas wins the NFC East and the Lions, so I'm rooting for the Chargers, thinking about this stuff. And my wife is like, would you consider yourself a bigger Lions fan or a bigger Michigan fan? Because since she's known me, it's been Michigan, right. And now all of a sudden, and really over the last year and a half, it's been Lions. And I thought it was a really great question because over the decades, Michigan has given people a reason to cheer for them.
Right. Yeah.
Whether it's Bo Schembechler in Big Ten championships, or Lloyd Carr in the national championships. The Jim Harbaugh over the last couple of years, championship, beating Ohio State.
Charles Woodson, Heisman
Charles
Trophy.
Woodson, Desmond Howard. You have Braylon Edwards.
Exactly.
But even the 04 game. Yeah. You have had reasons to be huge fans of Michigan over the course of the last several decades, like 6 of them, outside of a team here and a team there, a team that was fighting to get into the playoffs and a team that was maybe fighting for whatever, just to win a game. Yeah. The Lions didn't give you any reason to validate your fandom for them. Sunday afternoons were just, we're watching them. It's something to do. Yeah. You hope they win. They're going to lose, and you move on with your day. And you get to the middle of the season, and maybe you can start doing other things because the Lions are playing the Saints this week. That's going to be a bludgeoning. It is what it is. So this feels so new. So it's this reinvigorating sort of emotion that we haven't felt ever, at least in the last 30 years.
That's a fact.
That's absolutely true. I think, with Michigan in that time frame, 30, 20, 40, how many years you want to do the Snapchats, like, you knew that they would be in it the whole season. Like, you knew you can watch it you watch it in September, you can watch it in October, you can watch it in November. They're still going to be fighting for something. The Lions, shoot, man, after October, it's like, all right, well, wait for the draft. You're waiting for the draft again, and I think that's it. And if you even want to take out those 17 years of Michigan, we did struggle. We ain't struggled for 70 years. And so I think that's the big thing with it, too.
No doubt.
Your Lions fandom has always been there, but it's been hidden.
It's suppressed.
It's been suppressed. It's like, how many people stop me on the street just today wearing this? Just wearing a pullover and carrying this. 3 guys at Jack's Car Wash always stop me. And they're like, Where'd you get that? I see you. You're the guy on social media.
Yeah.
Woodward Sports. I'm like, you know what? I've always wore these things, but now I can actually wear them with a little pride.
It's funny.
And that everyone's got pride now on the street. It's awesome.
Pun intended, one pride. I mean, everyone does have pride now. I remember nobody had a problem with me wearing the Jet stuff until recently. When the Lions were good, hey, what you doing wearing that stuff? I'm like, hold on, I play for the Jets. All this, like, you lucky you played for the Jets. Like, before it was like, okay, I like that green and white. I kind of like that hoodie. Now it's almost like, you're in the wrong side of town wearing that stuff.
If you live in the state of Michigan, too, if you live in Metro Detroit, you always had that second team, too.
Yeah.
Of course, you had the Lions, but you knew the Lions were
You
going
had
to
a
lose
side
and not
piece.
do anything, so you had to choose. We all love the NFL. The NFL is king in this country, so you had to have that second team that you can cheer for week in and week out, year in, year out. For many of us here, it was the Pittsburgh Steelers. When the Steelers made it to the Super Bowl here in Detroit with Jerome Bettis, it was
You found a way to connect.
Absolutely.
Larry Foote.
Exactly. Larry Foote, Jerome Bettis, the whole thing. Then most of us moved on to New England and Tom Brady. If you were a Michigan fan, you saw what Tom Brady was doing in New England. So the Patriots kind of became your team. There is no more.
Or your Tom Mazaway when you have 8 other teams.
You're right. There is no more second team. There is no more side piece when it comes to the NFL. Your Lions are the love of your life, and you ain't even looking at anybody else ever again.
Isn't it crazy how fast that happened? We legitimately
Fast. It took 65
Well,
years.
that is very true. But in the stance of us doing the show together, in 2021, we were sitting up here doing a skit talking about who's your side piece. The Detroit Lions are obviously your girlfriend. Who's the side piece? Man, I think you chose the Packers, and we were having some fun with or the Giants. Your side piece haven't been good either. But we were talking about that 2 years ago. Now all of a sudden, arguably number one in the NFL. That happened quick.
No doubt. So, guys, lots of Lions stuff to get to today. Coming up next, you're going to hear from Dan Campbell what he thinks of the fans, what he thinks of all these injuries that the Lions have, how they keep winning. We're going full Lions today. Lions, baby. But first, a message from Fairway Packing Company. For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. All you have to do is visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods. Grab and go steaks. You just walk into the steak shop, you pick out the steak you want, and you go home and cook it yourself. You can order online if you can't make it into the steak shop. Fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com.
Prime aged stores packed to perfection.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Hey, gang, that Monday Night Football matchup between the Lions and Raiders coming up fast. How would you like to join Woodward Sports and Long Drink for every Lions home game, the official Lions VIP tailgate party? It's in Eastern Market, Shed 5. It's always a bash. 5:30 until game time. The official Lions tailgate is back and better than ever. How would you like to pregame it with Woodward Sports and be treated like a VIP? Food, beverages, entertainment, all included. Get your tickets online today at bullseyeeventgroup.com, bullseyeeventgroup.com, or win some from Woodward Sports today. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on IG, direct message Lions VIP. Welcome back, Woodward Sports. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. Lions off today. They'll get back to practice tomorrow. Dan Campbell spoke to the media yesterday. Had some really interesting things that he put forward. I want to play this one soundbite for you guys, and it's in relation to the energy that the fans give him. How the fans feel like this is their team. They believe this is their team. Dan Campbell is inviting everybody to believe that this is their team. Here's what he had to say.
The energy that it presents and these fans feeling like, that's what you want, man. You want the fans to feel like, man, they're riding the wave with us, and we're on the high side right now. And man, they are all in and they're a part of it. And I mean, I get texts all the time from friends, family, and they refer to things. Man, our receivers did a hell of a job today. It's our. And I feel like that's where our fans are. This is ours, and our guys are doing this, and our guys are, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
I thought that was awesome. Say it's our team. Yes, it's your team. We, talking about, wide receivers, he's getting text messages. Yeah, our wide receivers are really playing great. Yes, it is our team. Yes, you are a part of the team. And so many times we have seen athletes, coaches try to be like, no, you guys aren't on the team. We're the ones doing that out there. And so for a coach to say, no, man, embrace this. We are all one. It just leads you to believe that it's culture, man. And I told you, Dan Campbell and everybody that's involved in Allen Park changing culture inside Allen Park, but I said it last week, they changed the culture outside of Allen Park almost as important, pretty darn cool.
Yeah, amazing stuff. When a coach, especially a coach as a former player, especially when a coach is a former player of the team that he now is the head coach of, but when you get the players to lean into that idea as well, it just makes the community, it just becomes a community. Yeah, it becomes a community as the Lions, as the fans, and everybody. It's our team. When you lose, you now feel even more like, I'm about to start improper English. You feel worse when you lose, when you're connected to the city. Look at last night, Bryce Harper after the game. Look at how he's leaned into the Philadelphia Phillies. Like, you believe he was born in Philadelphia. They embrace him. They love him. He loves that city as well. And they're having success. I think you see the same thing with Dan Campbell and the Lions. They love this city, whether it's CJ GJ, whether it's Tracy Walker, whether it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, whose bowling event that I was at last week in the city. These guys have really leaned into the fan, and they appreciate the fandom. They appreciate it because they understand that the Lions fans have been waiting a very long time for this moment.
You hit it on the head with Bryce Harper. And we played a sound from you last week on him almost in tears of how much he loves the city of Philadelphia. He loves the fans. Guess what? They give it right back to you. You make them feel great. They make you feel great. And it's not us against them anymore. It's not, we don't have a player on our team that will bitch about the fans like other teams will. In other words, when fans are on a player, hey, you're ruining my fantasy team. Hey, you're doing this, you're doing that. There's none of that here, man. We just are so hungry to be a real team. Listen, man, the Super Bowl has been going on since 1967. The Lions have had one chance to get there, one NFC championship game in '91, and they met the Redskins, and they met their match. That's it. One time. I'm telling you, man, when you're talking to Cincinnati fans and Carolina fans and fans like that, and you bitch about how we feel, how we're the most overlooked team in the NFL. No one knows the Detroit Lions. And they're like, oh, no one knows us, the Bengals. No, you guys have been to 3 Super Bowls. We haven't been to a Super Bowl. We have not been there. The only original NFL team that has not been to a Super Bowl, the Cleveland Browns, have been reinvented. So for us to have this kind of year and to have this kind of feeling and for the fans to travel like they do, they're going to be It's dark in Baltimore because they got that dark black and purple.
Yeah.
But you're gonna see some blue in Baltimore. I guarantee you.
And Cleveland always felt like it was Cleveland. It was like Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland has great fans. Don't get me wrong.
They do.
But it was always like the Cleveland fans were one thing and the players were another thing. Like, especially when we weren't winning, which was ever. Like, it was there. When we have a good game, oh, they love us. When we have a bad game, they don't. When I was in New York, it just seemed like a different thing. Like the fan base with the players, man, and with the fan base. Like, to this day, when I go back to New York Jets events, like, I still love the fans, love taking pictures, love sitting there and talking to them. How's your kid? What's going on? What's new with you? Like, because I felt a part of that community. And so when I was on the football field, I gave it right back. If I'm not getting a ball, like a pass, I don't need it. I go knock somebody's head off. Like, what do you need me to do in this play? It's reverse. Cool. I'll be that. Like, that's the type of energy you have when the fan. I'm getting choked up talking about it. That energy is real.
Maz, you texted me about this yesterday, and it just goes to show you how obsessed we are with sports and with our teams, and even when they're not our teams. Day baseball going on yesterday. The Rangers and the Astros are going. Maz texts me, I love day baseball. I wish I was a kid again. Yeah. You know, I mean, you got so giddy that there was day baseball. And could you imagine if your team was playing in the playoffs? Long kind of way to get to. We love these teams. Yeah. We love these cities. We love that jersey. My love for the Lions has lasted longer than any one of those players has probably been alive.
Yeah.
And so for those players and that coach to give me just a little bit back and say, you know what? We love you guys too. We want you to be a part of this. We want you to be on the ride. That means everything, because you know there's cities out there and there's players, and we've had them here in Detroit, that'll say, oh, where were you guys when we were losing? And they try to throw it in your face. Oh, you guys hop on the bandwagon now when we're winning, but where were you? There's always that one guy that kind of says that stuff.
I have no idea.
There's none of that with this team. And it just makes you love them even more.
And there's none of that with this team, because Dan Campbell wouldn't go for that SHIT. Not at all. He understands the fan base has a large part of what the team does on the field. As a coach, as a player, he gets it.
Guess what, man? When draft day comes around now, and those college kids are going to be picked, Braylon's going to unfortunately have to go to the Browns. But guess what? Every time the Lions were on the clock, there's probably a pit in someone's stomach. Please, don't take me. Don't take me. I thought when they had the draft in Vegas that whoever we picked that year, I forgot who it was going to jump in the Bellagio fountain. I mean, but now you want to get picked by this team. Not only are they playing great, and you have a great coaching staff and a great GM that's running around, the stadium, high-fiving the fans. You're going to get a new look next year. You're going to get a new uniform. I don't know what they're going to do with the logo. I hope they kind of keep it. But you're going to get all new looks, and you're going to have the draft coming up in April. Detroit is the NFL. It's ground zero, man. It's coming. We can win the Super Bowl this year. We can win the Super Bowl.
Say it with your chest.
Can I just make 2 points based on what you said? One, I have the idea of all ideas now. Do you know how they have former players announce their draft picks?
Yep.
I think when the Jets come to the podium in Detroit, there is no better guy than this guy announcing the draft pick. Even though he wasn't picked by the Jets, we have got to figure out how Braylon Edwards can announce the New York Jets draft pick on the stage in Detroit.
Looks, you gotta get it on TV.
So that's one. I just want to put that out into the atmosphere now.
Appreciate that. Energy
put
is
that
real.
out into the atmosphere. Number 2.
Okay.
Uniform guy here. I've always been uniform guy.
You are.
I no longer want new uniforms. I don't.
You don't associate with losing anymore.
I don't. The reason why I wanted new uniforms this whole time is because you look at that Lion logo and it symbolizes losing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't symbolize losing anymore. And I would like the Lions to get to a Super Bowl with that uniform. I want that team wearing those jerseys and that helmet in the Super Bowl. And it might not happen this year. It might happen, but it may not happen this year. But I am confident it will happen within the next couple of years, whether it's this year, next year, or the year after that.
I love our Lion. I always loved them.
And I am now hoping they don't change their uniforms.
Just go more silver, like the old days.
Right.
A little more silver.
When you know, you know. And Ryan, you say it may not be this year. It's going to be in a couple of years. It definitely is. Like when you know, when you see something forming, you know. I always talk about the Legion of Boom. I was in that locker room. Even though I wasn't there, I'm like, this team, like, this is something here. They're going to do something. They did. San Francisco 49ers, I'm on the team in 2011. I was like, there's no way this defense be that good and not get rewarded at some point. And then they go to the Super Bowl in 2013, and they lose, but they win. When you see it formulating, like, trust your eyes. I'm trusting what I see. I see the makings of something that could be special.
All right, guys. Hey, coming up next, one of the things, if something can be special, it is because of the next man up attitude and mindset that the Detroit Lions have. There are injuries. David Montgomery is going to be out for, quote-unquote, a while. You will hear from that coming up. You will hear from Dan Campbell talking about how they have overcome that. But next, we will talk to our good friend, Doc Macaroon, publisher of All Lions on SI.com. And, oh, by the way, did you see SI.com's power rankings? Lots to get to. We'll do that next.
BS.
But first, a message from Big Boy.
All right, guys. Big Boy, you know they got the best burgers in town. Matter of fact, I'm having one tonight. I might even pick up Ryan and Lukey and head out over to Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe and go get myself a Big Boy. How about a bacon pretzel cheeseburger? Try that. Or if you're in the mood for chicken, the Dolly chicken sandwich or Bob's hot chicken sandwich. If you like your chicken a little spicy, upgrade those fries. Get the chili cheese fries and the loaded baked potato fries. Save room for dessert. It's the Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. And of course, you want the funnel cake fries. All that, and throw a shake in as well. That Big Boy.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
At the Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house with a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field that can also be used for 7-on-7 football. K-8 that features AM/PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and obviously so much more. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollment, so go to the academyofwarren.net. That website again, academyofwarren.net.
Again, welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, and Tom Mazaway. We've got Parker. We've got Kool-Aid with us as well. He is doing a great job in there. It is time now to bring our good friend Doc Macaroon to the table, publisher of All Lions on SI.com. Now, I want to just make a mention. You may hear an echo during this interview. We will not hear it in our ears, but if you guys hear it and it's too unbearable for you, let us know and we'll keep it short. I hope that's not the case. I guarantee you it'll be fixed by tomorrow. But anyway, Doc Macaroon, how are you, my friend?
What up, Doc? Unmute him. I think the fans are hearing him, but we don't hear him. Hey, Chad, are you hearing Doc?
Well, that's great, guys.
Oh,
that's great. All right. Doc, we're going to have to stand by for a minute because we can't hear you.
Our apologies.
Our total apologies. But we can't hear you. The chat can't hear you, so maybe we can try to connect another way. I don't know. I just sit here and talk for a living, so.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to call Doc on the phone.
Oh, maybe
All
that'll
right?
be great.
I'm going to send Kool-Aid his number.
Very good.
Doc, stand by.
Very good. Okay, so he'll stand by for that. One of the reasons we wanted to talk to Doc, Braylon Edwards, is because Sports Illustrated writer Connor Orr dropped the Lions to 7th in the latest power rankings. He had San Francisco at 1, Kansas City 2, Philadelphia 3, Miami 4, Buffalo 5, Cincinnati at 6, and the Lions at 7. What say you about that?
I think it's some BS, to be honest, and I think the BS is basically we're still the Detroit Lions. You know, you want to put them somewhere close, but at the same time, you want to make excuses, or I think you want to project to what you believe a team is going to be or what a team is going to be. You're looking at the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, they always start off bad. But you see what Joe Burrow does in the end of the season, the last 2 years in a row, and blah, blah, blah. Right now, what the Detroit Lions have done, they should be no less than 3 in anybody's poll. So and if I see it 4 or less, then I'm calling it BS.
I agree with that. And, you know, you could look at teams and you could look at there's nobody playing right now as good as the Detroit Lions in all phases.
No.
It's just not the case. So I too, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of power rankings.
Yeah. Because they're always biased to a certain extent.
And well, they're not only that, Bray. It doesn't mean anything because it's gonna totally play itself out.
Yeah.
It's gonna totally play itself out.
Well, yesterday we talked about it, right? We all did our own kind of power rankings.
Yeah.
He's got San Francisco. He's got Kansas City, Philly, and Miami, with Buffalo as the top 5, and you had Buffalo in your top 5. So he's got 5 excellent teams on the top. But here's where it goes wrong. Number 6 is Cincy, and they are not better than the Lions at 7 right now. They're just not. I don't think Buffalo is better than the Lions. So I would put the Lions at the worst on his thing
3.
at number 5. At worst.
Okay.
At worst.
And I don't have a problem with that. I think more so I eliminated even looking at the first 5. Once I heard Cincinnati, I instantly knew what it was. This is a projection about what teams have done in the past, in the playoffs. And don't get me wrong, Cincinnati Chiefs have been there at the end of the year almost 2 years in a row. So I get that. But just like Janet Jackson said in the 80s, what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me lately? All the Lions have done is one on prime time every time they're on.
Right.
One with a multiple of different depths, different lineups, different situations, and they've gone on the road, won on the road. They beat their rivals. So I don't want to hear all that other stuff. What have you done for me lately?
I was sending Kool-Aid Doc's number.
Okay.
Did you read what the guy said?
Yeah, here you go. Let me read for you what the guy said.
Here's his reasoning.
I thought the Lions' defense was very impressive on Sunday and stymied what I felt was going to be a game-altering Tampa Bay drive before the half. The most important part of this game, though, was watching Jared Goff muster enough of a scoring offense to succeed when the running game was completely blanked. The Lions had not rushed for fewer than 100 yards in a game all season. On Sunday, they only managed 40. Like the 49ers, we were able to see what Detroit looked like with one hand tied behind its back.
Right. They got the injuries. San Francisco had the injuries, and they suffered. They had to rely on their kicker, and they failed. The Lions had to rely on their depth, and it worked. Their Lions' depth won them that game. The Lions' coaching won them that game. The Lions, like you said, guys, they're built for the long haul here. They really are.
Yeah, also, too, I think the big thing is, and we talked about it yesterday, is giving Jared Goff that credit because the Lions had to come up with another way to win. They couldn't be necessarily dominant in the run game. They had to really throw the ball out there, and Jared Goff had found 355 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. So I think that kind of separates them as well because he wouldn't have found those 355 yards. Ben Johnson put him in good situations, and the player made plays. Not everybody can go from a dominant run team that uses the run and set up the pass to just we'll just go out there and pass and beat you. So you got to give them a lot of credit for that as well.
No doubt. Do we have Doc? Or okay, we're trying to get Doc. Let me play this audio for you, gang. How do the Lions keep winning with the injuries?
There you go.
Okay,
I just bring up all the time. First of all, look, the fact, our GM is doing a hell of a job. Let me start there, all right, because he's giving us guys that have the ability to grow and develop, have talent. and then the coaches are developing that talent. But I think also there's a mindset.
Is he talking about?
I think everybody on the roster, top to bottom, whether you're a starter, you're a reserve, you're on the vet squad, the practice squad, they really believe that at some point here they're going to have an impact on helping us win, because we preach it all the time. And we say it even when we get down those tough cuts in training camp. Is like, look, just because you don't make the 53, if you're here, you're on our practice squad, vet squad, you're probably going to play for us, and we're going to need you to step up and take on a role. And there can't be a drop-off. There can't be a deficiency. And so I think they believe that. And I think the rest of the guys on the roster, because those guys have been around, they've earned that, the way they practice, the way they prepare. There's a trust level there that, okay, you're the next guy up. I trust you. Let's go. And I think it's something we preach, we talk about all the time. We don't look at those guys as, well, you're not good enough. You're not going to be able to do it. We can't trust this guy. So I think there's a mindset to it as well.
Love how he gave love to Brad Holmes right off the start. And it just goes to show you the team. And I know that is a Bo Schembechler phrase.
Yeah.
But you ask,
doesn't make it less true.
Why is this team so good? What is the mentality with next man up? It's because Brad Holmes and his team has provided guys on the roster that can come in, that are good character guys, that are good athletes, that pay attention being the 69th man, and when their number is called, they're ready to play.
No one's bitching. Really, no one's bitching. There's no wide receivers or running backs that want the ball more. You're not going to see.
Hey, why you don't start wide receivers?
I'm sorry, you don't see. But I'm going to bring them up. You don't see
you.
Stephon Diggs yelling. You don't see D-Hop yelling. You don't see
Debo.
You don't see these things. That's because the Lions, as much as we want them to go out and get these big name free agents, they know what they're doing. Really. They know what they're doing.
Brad Holmes definitely knows what he's doing, and they're building that culture together. I've been on a couple of different teams, and we've seen from afar, you've seen the GM and the head coach always be, even on the same team, a lot of times they're a different entity. They're always trying to, even when they're winning, it's like, I got to keep myself over here just in case things go off the rails so I can push back and say, well, that was him. It wasn't me, and start finger pointing.
Yep.
You don't see that with Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. Like, these guys genuinely love the same type of player. They love the same player, and they're trying to do it the same way in Detroit. They're doing it together, and when they're talking to guys and bringing guys in, you've heard the players that have to leave here. They have to leave here. Like, guys, I want to stay. I wish I could stay. Good luck with them and what they're doing. They said that 2-3 years ago, so you're still seeing it come right now.
They put this marriage together too, Ryan. Remember?
Yeah.
They hired Dan Campbell first,
right?
Then Brad Holmes. They're like, I think we know what the hell we're doing.
They knew it was going to work.
Let's put these guys together. And it works.
Hey, the Woodward Sports Lions pregame show returns for another season of Lions football. Join WSN host Jeff Iafredi with weekly special guests on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Whether you're sipping Kool-Aid or kicking and screaming, same old Lions, you will not want to miss the show. Join us all season long for an action-packed Lions pregame experience. All right, let's try it again. Let's go to the phones. Mr. Doc Macaroon, are you there?
I'm here, fellas.
Oh,
there we go.
It's all good. Hey.
Oh, my
there we go.
God. I feel like I just won the Super Bowl.
Welcome in, Doc.
Hey, Doc, so let's start there for a minute with SI. Lions ranked 7th. Have you gotten a lot of grief about that?
He's on the show, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All morning long. Right from the get-go. I love it. This is the best time. I think that all Lions fans really want not only for the team to win, but they want all this acclaim from national writers. Look, the SI writer, Connor Orr, decided that he looked at the week, and that was his opinion. Guys, power rankings are just opinions based on what people feel. Look, if you don't want to read what he wrote, go check it out. Go check it out at SI.com, but go check out All Lions. I'm a local guy, and I got him ranked number 1. So
Absolutely.
All it is, power rankings. Let's keep it in perspective that when people look at the Lions, there's going to be some people that don't view the Lions as favorably, and I love it. That's where the whole Detroit versus everybody moniker came from. Stop being so butthurt about power rankings. Read them, enjoy them, let's talk about it, but I don't think I needed the vitriol that I got this morning about some guy that I've never met before talking about the Lions being number 7. It is unusual to drop a team in your power rankings weekly when you do them, especially after them being 5-1. But I look at it, and it's like it's very interesting to look at how others view the Lions in relation to other teams in the NFC and NFL. But, guys, universally, the Detroit Lions are a top 3 football team playing right now based on how they're playing on the field.
Doc, I agree with you 100%. And it's good to talk to you as always. I was talking to one of my friends this past Saturday, and he's like, every time he mentions UWM to somebody, oh, do you know my homeboy? He said, bro, it's like 10. He says like 30,000 people to work here. I don't know everybody that works here, so I definitely get that. You say they're in the top 3. You got them number 1, 100%. Who do you think is the closest team completely to the Detroit Lions currently right now as it stands?
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's great. Right now, unequivocally, Lions playing one of the best brands of football out there. Not only winning games, but winning games by double digits. I'm definitely intrigued now by the growing rivalry, at least online, between the players, between the Lions and the 49ers. You look at it, I'm hoping that once this season ends, everybody's healthy, mano a mano, maybe at Ford Field, the Lions play the 49ers because they're built similarly. 2 teams built in the trenches, 2 teams with great head coaches, 2 teams with quarterbacks playing at a decent level, and I think that they would match up very well against the 49ers. And I think that, look, right now the Lions are in the conversation as a football team that can go out and compete against any team. And right now the 49ers are the it team, in my opinion. You see the way they play. They got a lot of high-end talent all over the place. But right now, the blessing and what should give a lot of Lions fans hope is that in crunch situations, Jared Goff has been there and Brock Purdy hasn't. And I think that you could scheme up a plan, AG's the man, that could go out there and cause Brock Purdy some havoc. The Lions have been playing very well defensively, and that's what's led them to be 5-1.
Doc, one of the things that Dan Campbell was just talking about before we came to you on the phone was just this ability of next man up. This ability of next man up. They have lost so many key players to injuries, but they continue to win football games. Can you just speak to the level of caliber roster that Brad Holmes and his team have assembled here in Detroit?
That's the secret. Many people are wondering, how have the Lions gotten to 5-1? And they've weathered the storm with all of these injuries. I mean, David Montgomery goes down against the Buccaneers, and the Lions keep on rolling. They turn to different pieces. They turn to Jamison Williams for the big play. And it just goes to show you, look, everyone knows that Brad Holmes had a strong draft record. He was one of the key architects of building that Rams team. Yeah, Les Snead was the general manager, but Brad Holmes was the director of college scouting. He knows what they're looking for. And, guys, by and large, I think what's great is when Brad Holmes has been asked about the talent and how he started to talk about how he views talent. And he says, look, we all can kind of know what talent looks like out on the field in terms of speed, ability, the measurables. But what the Lions are getting better at is they're targeting players with the grit, the intangibles that you can go out there and win with. Guys that are gritty. Guys like Isaiah Buggs, who gets benched in the beginning of the year, comes back, fights for his spot, and when he comes back, look, he had a key tip in that performance. So they're filling this roster with a bunch of players that are hungry and that are full of intangibles that help this football team win. And, yeah, absolutely. It's great to see. When can we say that the Lions can shoulder so many injuries and still win football games? Not only win them, but win them handily. And then you look at it now. I think Craig Reynolds is the next man up for the Detroit Lions to get a little bit of an opportunity to showcase what he can do. And I think that Craig Reynolds is going to hopefully take advantage of playing behind this offensive line and make a name for himself.
I hope you're right there, Doc. But to lose David Montgomery it's a big blow. And to have Jahmyr Gibbs out with a hamstring the last 2 weeks, and he's not 100%. You kind of know when Dan Campbell's talking about the injuries, he's like, yeah, he's trending in the right direction. That doesn't give me a lot of hope that he's going to be the number one back come Sunday against a very tough Baltimore Ravens defense. They re-signed Mo Ibrahim from Minnesota, their undrafted free agent. So they bring him back to the practice squad. I guess maybe he'll get a little action as well. But you got guys out there, and I'm always the first guy to see if I see a big free agent out there. Oh, let's go get him. Let's go get him. Now you hear Leonard Fournette. Oh, yeah, he's in great shape. He wants to come in and help a team. But you know what? He hasn't been signed for a reason. What's your take on going forward? Do you think the running back position will stay the same? Are they going to keep it in-house? Or do you think they make a move before the trade deadline?
Man, what a great discussion to have. I think we're at that point now with the trade deadline being so close. I think they're close to being a team, and maybe we'll ask Dan Campbell towards the end of the week, should this football team go all in? It's 5-1. How many opportunities are you going to get? Because Jared Goff's price tag, if he stays on this roster, is going to be huge. So I do think there's going to be moves made, but I do think there's opportunities right now for the Lions to weather the storm a little bit. A rib cartilage situation is going to be delicate to see. It's all going to depend on how long it is, because the Lions do have an advantageous situation with the bye week being a couple weeks away. You can revisit it, but unfortunately the trade deadline kind of is right there next week, so they got to make the decision. I think that they can kind of get by in the short term with having, a little bit of creativity using Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jamison Williams was a speedster. I think the opportunity on the practice squad as well. You have Maurice Alexander. You have Divine Ozigbo, who's had a little bit of experience in the NFL. So I look at it and I say that right now it kind of feels like they're going to stand pat on offense. I think if they make moves, they should shore up the defense, because this is an offensive team now that's in rhythm. They understand what's going on. They have a lot of pieces on that practice squad. If they load up on defense, because you can't get enough pass rushers. You can look, guys. The Lions' offense didn't play well against the Buccaneers, yet they still won 20-6. Why? That defense just came to play and shut down everything from the Buccaneers. And if you can add to that, I think now you're talking about big success.
Doc, when you set me up perfect, he was talking about Leonard Fournette. I'll keep the same first name, but a different last name. Leonard Williams is a guy that's come up recently. You're talking about adding defensive end, rush edges. You look at a team like Philadelphia, and you look at teams like San Francisco 49ers, who you said they always will grab a guy if he's out there. Oh, Leland Flair, here, let's grab this guy. Oh, you want Robert Quinn? Let's grab this guy to try to shore up for the playoffs. Is Leonard Williams a guy that you might look to on that other side to kind of balance Aiden Hutchinson in the middle of Isaiah Buggs and Elaine McNeil?
Yeah, lots of great opportunities. I've been loving what I'm seeing from Charles Harris, and you're loving what you're seeing on that side, the experience that he brings. But if they do decide, of course, I think that when you look at how this team can improve, I think along the defensive line, depth maybe at linebacker in the secondary. I love what's going on at safety. I love Tracy Walker stepping in. But you look at how this defensive line, they do pressure the quarterback, but in key games, you're going to go up against a key offensive line that's going to play well. And while the pressures are great, you got to bring in those key moments. You looked at the game that they lost to Seattle, you didn't get home enough. So if you can add any talent that you believe will come in and play violent, play opposite of Aiden Hutchinson, who also he's been playing so great to start the year. If you can add any talent that you believe can pressure the quarterback, you do it. This is a year I do think they'll add, and Williams is a very intriguing name.
Talking to Doc Macaroon, SI.com. Doc, back to Montgomery for a minute, because I'm concerned with him. One of the main reasons that you got him is because he's durable. You were not going to have a situation like DeAndre Swift again, right, where the guy was in the lineup, then out of the lineup, then in the lineup, then out of the lineup. Now, this guy plays differently. He is a wrecking ball, and the injuries are not his fault. The other guy, Swift, you felt like he just couldn't play through some. So I don't want to make that comparison, but at the same time, what do you do when you got an illness or something? You Google it, right? Yeah. I just Googled rib cartilage injury and how long it takes to heal. Ooh. Minimum 6 weeks. And if you listen to what Dan Campbell said yesterday, it was, yes, he says a little while. Define little while, right? I mean, because David Montgomery is everything that this offense needs, in my opinion, to continue to roll. Nothing against Craig Reynolds. I just don't know if this offense can have the same success with Craig Reynolds. And I'm not sure there's anybody on the street. But is this a position you would consider making a trade for now? Because, if it's 6 weeks, if it's 6 to 12 weeks, if it's 6 to 8 weeks, you've got some problems there.
Okay, very interesting, and there's a lot of layers to it, and it really speaks to the running back position, man. It's just really tough because these defensive linemen are getting bigger, stronger, faster, and that's why many people did debate saying, listen, why would you invest in a first-round running back? It's a tough position. It's a position that these players take a pounding. And it's one in which now, are you going to be willing to risk a first and second round pick for somebody coming in new when you've already invested the number 12 overall pick? So I look at it like this, and you say, okay, here's how you adapt. You don't need to go on the outside. You focus on the inside. And you say, what do we have on this roster? And you say, okay, if Craig Reynolds can just get you a couple yards, you get 10 to 15 carries out of him. He gets you around 60 yards. Now you turn to two more offensive weapons in Jahmyr Gibbs and Jamison Williams, who has to progress for you this year. Look, the NFL is not for long. You don't get redshirt years in the NFL. So I look at the Detroit Lions and what they've been able to do to be successful, to be flexible. So maybe you don't emphasize the run game as much, but, guys, you have one of the top receivers in the game in Amon-Ra St. Brown. You have an emerging tight end in Sam Laporta. So what you do is you just creatively scheme the running game in order to get those 4-yard runs through the screen pass with Jahmyr Gibbs or with others. So I just don't think I want to invest a pick right now in terms of what it would take to get someone here new off the street. I think that you focus on the inside and you make the players that you have get better. And you guys got to remember, too, I think Jamison Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs are starting to get the message, hey, okay, this is what we're looking for. It's coming. I think that I know the patience level is low, but I think now we'll have an opportunity to see what Gibbs does, maybe even coming out of the backfield with a short passing game.
Doc, I know you got the Lions, I know you have the Detroit Lions number 1 right now in your power rankings. How real is the Lions' chances of winning the Super Bowl this year, in your estimation?
Oh, I love it. I love talking about the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I think it's an interesting opportunity, guys. And here's how you look at it. When you got a quarterback, you got a chance. And Jared Goff is playing the best football of his career right now. This team is really rallying around him. You saw the video after the game ball to Jared Goff. He's embodied exactly, really the embodiment of grit. Everybody cast him off. Everybody called him a bridge quarterback. Everybody disrespected him, and called him a throw-in. He weathered a season like in 2021 in which he shouldered the blame, handled it like a pro. If he plays at this level, if Jared Goff stays at this level, doesn't turn the ball over, connects with Amon-Ra St. Brown, builds a connection with Jamison Williams, and you continue to play this well defensively, why would you not talk about the Lions having success in the postseason? That's what it's made of, is building in the trenches, having a quarterback that can play, and a wonderful coaching staff that has got these players playing at a high level, even when there's been a plethora of injuries. I think that the Lions get into the dance, and just like many have said, don't let the Lions get home field advantage because they'll come out of the NFC. If they have home field, if they're the number 1 seed, they ain't losing at home.
Amen to that. Hey, Doc, we thank you so much for your time, man. Follow Doc on X at Detroit Podcast. Of course, publisher of all Lions on SI.com. Doc Macaroon, check him out. Thanks so much, Doc. We appreciate it.
Thanks, bud.
On the road to 6-1. Let's see what they do against the Ravens.
I love it. No doubt about it. All right, we'll talk to you down the road here. Guys, we are going to take a break. When we come back, more Lions. Who's got the game this week? Who's got the call of the game this week? And what are people saying about the Lions? We'll do that next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. When you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house, it tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Whether you are at home or on the road, they're 24/7 professional monitoring, customized solutions from real experts, and technology backed by people means you are backed by the best. Call this number right here, 1-800.
Stay out.
That number again, 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
Stay out.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Calling all landscapers, this is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Hey gang, what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did. For over 50 years, they have been in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue with Les Stanford Chevy Cadillac, and they have expanded into Ferndale with Les Stanford Buick GMC. They offer the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. Located on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. Of course, if you're looking for any GM product, all you got to do, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Find them. Hey, guys, so for the second time this year, the #1 broadcast crew for Fox is going to do the Lions game.
Is it the third time?
Well, third time overall, but this is the second time Burkhardt has had the Lions.
Oh, I thought he had it 3 times. You're right.
Because against Kansas City, it was Mike Tirico.
Correct. We had it against Seattle, and now we get him here.
That's right. Kevin Burkhardt, Greg Olson, Tom Rinaldi, and Aaron Andrews have the call of the Lions and Ravens. This is a matchup, really, of two of the league's best. A lot of people like what Baltimore is doing this year. They're 4-2, but this is the best game on the board this week, Lions and Ravens.
That's going to be a hell of a good game. I mean, this is a game, outside of the Kansas City game, and we knew Seattle would be a tough game at home, but this was kind of like really going to be that next, after the quarter mark, this will be that benchmark. What are they going to look like on the road in Baltimore, BT&T Bank Stadium, I believe. MT&T Bank Stadium, excuse me. It's been a long time since I've been there. But this is a good team. Lamar Jackson, they lost some games and there have been some bad throws, but definitely the offense looks like under Todd Monken, it looks like it's putting him in a situation to be more accurate in the pocket, more accurate on third down. He has done that this season. And in the red zone, he's responsible for a lot of touchdowns. Hell, if he didn't have receivers dropping passes, Lamar Jackson would have more touchdowns in the red zone and lead that. But there's still a lot of holes in that Ravens defense. At times, when you see him play against Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, they look horrible. They look bad at times. So, I don't have the same conviction I did going into this game playing against Lamar Jackson on the road. When the season started, I thought this would be an L for the Detroit Lions. I think they're going to. I know they're going to win now. I have way more conviction than the Lions than I did when the season started.
They're going to come from obviously London, so their week is thrown off to begin with.
Yeah.
They don't have a running game. Their wide receivers are so-so. It's Lamar Jackson show. Their defense is still pretty darn good. Their special teams are excellent. They're well coached. They're well coached. Yeah. You know what Justin Tucker did to us a few years ago. I don't got to remind you about that. It's going to be a tough place to play, but the Lions can do it. I'm not afraid of anybody, to be perfectly honest with you, except maybe going to San Francisco and going to Philly. Other than that, bring them on.
No doubt. Guys, let me take one more break just to get back on time. I went way over, and the time got all screwed up with Doc Macaroon and trying to connect with him. So let me just take one quick break, 1 minute long. We will get back to the Lions and what the national media is saying about your Detroit Lions. I want to see if you love it or hate it. We'll do it next. But first, a message from
Swiss.
Oh, let me tell you about the college pregame. How about the college pregame?
What about it, man? What's going on?
It's Michigan State. I almost forgot. But we want to remind you that it is time for the Great Divide, the game that splits the state of Michigan in half. Well, maybe 2/3. Go green or go blue. Does Harbaugh notch another win, or does MSU? Are they coming for Big Blue? Oh, I see what you did there. It's Woodward Sports for the love of college football pregame show.
That's
Spencer
terrible.
Raxter, Flannel Sam, Easy, many more will get you pumped up Saturday from 6 to 7:30 on Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Now for a message from Swiss.
Do you have football on the brain? Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. Fall is also the perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. So why not do it like a pro with Swiss Insurance? They cover Woodward Sports, and they should be covering you too. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177. That phone number again, 248 800-4177. Swiss Insurance. They're covering us, so they should be covering you too.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Newest Sports Bar has 13 TrackMan simulators. That's right, 13, so you can play all the courses around the world. Your favorite, we got it. Play, practice, party, and play. And now, compete nationwide for a chance to win a trip to the Dominican Republic. All you have to do is go in and sign up. 5irongolf.com. You can get there as well. The food is good, the drinks are good, the people are. And on Thursdays, we do 5 to 7, the Woodward Sports Golf League. Come out, have a good way, good fun, and then it leads you right into Thursday Night Football. 5-Iron Golf, downtown.
All right, gang, welcome back. Hour number 2 of the program. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. Guys, the Lions are getting so much love. And I think really it started earlier this season with me. And then, of course, Louis Riddick and Dan Orlovsky really carried the torch nationally for this team. And just in the last 24 hours, okay, Stephen A. Smith has the Lions number 1 in the NFC. Mike Greenberg said the Lions are number 1 in the NFC. Chris Sims called them a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And Keyshawn Johnson said that the Detroit Lions are the number 1 team in the NFC right now.
Pretty good.
Everybody is on board with this football team. It seems like, except the one guy from
Connor Orr is the only one.
Whatever, it's fine. But
there's always one.
Listen to me. That is really impressive. A lot of these guys, they know football. They see what they see. And I know that the schedule. I mean, hey, Tampa Bay is a division leader. They beat Kansas City. They should have beaten Seattle. They did not. I understand that the games are won or lost, but they turned the ball over three times and they lost the coin flip and they lost the game. But this is a good football team. They've beaten some good teams. They've beaten one in Green Bay on the road. I think that's a pretty darn good win right now. Anyway, we'll see what it means in the season. But the Lions getting a lot of love, man.
And, Ryan, when you first, and absolutely it did lead and start with you, but what did I tell you last year? 1-6, and then after that, they go 8-2 in the last 10 games. For me, I think for a lot of guys like Keyshawn Johnson that's played the game as well, Dano, who's been on it for a long time, you just wanted to see it. You wanted to see it when it counted. You look at 8-2 last year, but you look towards the end of the year, season's over, you're playing a lot of guys that aren't making the playoff. It's different energy in those games. And, yeah, you won those games, but then look what happened against Carolina. So I was like, I got to see it at the beginning. I got to see it in primetime games. I got to see it on the road. I got to see it in the big components. They beat Kansas City on the road. They beat Green Bay on the road on a primetime game. They won their time games. They're winning. They're 5-1 at the beginning of the year, not at the end. They're where it matters. They're winning, and they're dominating, and they're continuing to find ways to win. So when you're seeing that, when you're watching that on TV, when you're watching this team, you have no choice but to understand this is one of the best football teams in the NFL. And if you want to put them first, I have no problem with that as well. But They're seeing it consistently in all things that you need to see and see if a team is good. Can they beat the big teams? Check. Can they win on the road? Check. Can they win in prime time? Check. Can they put together the beginning of the year when football actually matters? Check, check, and check.
13 of 16 they've won. It's the best. It's the best streak they've had since the 61-62 season. That's saying something right there. They took last year's big finish, all that momentum, and we all said, well, it died because they didn't make the playoffs. They can't possibly bring it in to this year, and they have. The only thing holding this team back is the injuries. I know every team has to deal with injuries, but no one took it worse than the Jets, losing Aaron Rodgers, and now they lost their top guy on Vera Tucker on their line, offensive line.
Man.
Top two guys right there, and the Lions. Lions have lost 10, 12 guys to injuries. I'm talking big-name guys. They signed 4 free agents, big-name free agents. 3 of them are down with injuries, major injuries. 2 are out for the year. 1 is on the ropes. We don't know. David Montgomery's injury is a bad injury for this team. They like to run the ball and impose their will. The guy catches it. The guy does everything. And when he went down, man, that's going to be a tough one to come back from. As much as we love Craig Reynolds and he does all the little things, he's not the number 1 running back. He's just not. That's not his game.
He's not the number 1 running back, but, it's a good thing to have Muhammad Ibrahim getting signed back. Look, and I'm not saying Muhammad Ibrahim is about to come in here and he's about to turn up Barry Sanders' numbers, but what I am saying, when you put him behind the offensive line like the Detroit Lions, like they have, you start to remember that he had 4,688 yards when he was in Minnesota. He had 53 touchdowns in his 4-year career in Minnesota. So this is a guy, you give him a line.
I hope you're right.
100%. He can give you some yards and he can give you some plays. And, oh, by the way, he was in Kent, which means he knows the playbook. So you're not looking for a guy to come in here and have to teach him the whole system. This is a guy that knows the playbook and was hoping that the Lions would give him a phone call
He
back.
even had Zonovan Knight, man, and he was looking good. And
got injured.
he's out for the freaking year. I mean, you can't write this stuff. It's
Want to thank Reverend Chris Steele for his $1.99 donation. Tom Mazaway is afraid of the beer line at MSU. We read those donations. If you want to donate, we'll read it.
I had 4 great tickets to that game that my daughters are going to use. I'm staying home.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, you can have Spartan Stadium.
Oh man, it is so much fun to kind of have some fun with that.
He's a Bentley guy
pokey
anyway.
pokey.
That guy.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Well, you took $2 from him, so
Thanks.
there you go.
Appreciate it.
You mattered to him enough to. There you go.
There you go, man. You're part of it.
Yeah, guys. So we'll see what happens with this. One of the things, this Lions team is 3-0 on the road. When we did our season predictions, I think, Braylon, we looked at 9 road games and said, "Well,
Ouch.
man, if they can get to 4-5 on the road, they can win the division." Now you're looking at this thing saying, can they go 6-2 on the road?
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, like I said, I looked at my picks, and I feel like we're all looking at our picks from the beginning of the season, and now you're looking, you're like, if I would have known it was going to be like that, but it's the more energy that it's the more information that you have, and you're looking at this roster now, you're like the Chargers and the Ravens before the season were like, we may drop that one, I can see it going either way. Now I'm looking at the Chargers and Brandon Staley. I'm like, if we lose to them, I'd be highly upset. And if they lose to even John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens, I think the Lions are a better team. If the running game affects it, that will be the only way.
I think they got him at the right time again. Right?
It's not who you play, it's when you play them.
I think they got him at the right time.
They're coming back from London, and I do think you could see what happened to the Bills last week. The Bills playing an inferior Giants team. They just couldn't. I mean, there were 2 plays. At the end of each half, it ended with a play at the 1-yard line.
That's amazing.
And the Giants couldn't get in the end zone.
They haven't scored a touchdown in 3 games.
It's unbelievable.
An offensive touchdown in 3 full games.
And Brian Daboll is their head coach, and they paid their quarterback $45 million.
And he's sitting on the sidelines, and Tyrod Taylor is playing.
Oh, man, that's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, I was just thinking about being out of whack, man. I've never played over in London, but I have played on a Monday night on the West Coast and had to return to the East Coast. And I just know that just the flight back and getting back and going in on Tuesday and then just being out of whack, and in that span, You know what I'm saying? It caused us to be a little bit out of whack for the week in terms of getting in Wednesday. Now we're sluggish going through first down. You know, now we're sluggish on Thursday when we're trying to be crisp doing third down and red zone. Like, you're sluggish through the week. What happens in the sluggish and being off, you don't have good practices. You know, yeah, we're athletes and we get paid and we can do all that, but when your rhythm is thrown off as a professional.
Tell me about it.
100%. When your rhythm is thrown off as a professional, it takes time. You have bad practices. Bad practices don't mean you win games. It means you lose games. That's kind of what that rhythm and being thrown off. Bad practices lead to bad games, which leads to losses.
Any performance, whether you're in the middle of a sales presentation.
This is true.
If your rhythm is thrown off, you're off.
Yeah, this is
you
true.
Know, you get through it.
Yeah.
You'll get through it.
Especially if your team.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You'll get through it, but yeah. Guys, go blue or go green. It's Woodward Sports Network Great Divide viewing party. Oh, yeah, the live stream, the watch party for the Michigan State game. You know those guys going to be cracking open a cold one, sitting back, line up your bets, tune in to watch the battle for the Paul Bunyan Trophy with your favorite Woodward Sports personalities. This Saturday, starting at 7:30, enjoy the Woodward Sports live game watch party. Just come here, right here, YouTube, and keyword Woodward Sports. How about that? How about Woodward Sports YouTube channel?
There you go.
Let's do that. All right, gang, we'll go around the NFL. We'll do it next, but first a message from Feldman.
All righty. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer, 18 locations. There's a Feldman dealership near you. All you got to do is go to feldmanauto.com. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience, and it is called the Feldman Advantage, the #1 Chevy dealer. Take advantage.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about Outdoor Equipment Company, the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan-grown, family-owned, bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers, Liberty trailers, Generac generators, Snow X plows, and salters. Outdoor Equipment Company has it all. You could buy it, rent it, 0% financing, delivered to your doorstep. OutdoorEquipCo.com, OutdoorEquipCo.com. Tom Mazaway.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's go around the NFL.
All right, we didn't talk about last night's game.
Oh, my God.
We talk about Monday Night Football.
Can we start there?
Let's start there. Let's start with the Cowboys won a game. 20-17 is the final. It really was not a pretty game. Dak, a couple of touchdowns, one in the air, one on the ground. The Chargers have now lost 6 games by 3 points or less in the last 2 years, and that brings me up to Braylon Edwards and his favorite coach, Brandon Staley.
Can we fire him already? Like, can we fire this dude? I'm not even gonna go. I'm about to tag my boy Ryan Ermanni in, but I will say one thing first. What they're doing to Justin Herbert, they're ruining Justin Herbert. Like, go ahead, Ryan.
I was just gonna say, I don't care about what your stats are, what your arm angles are, how good you look, what your jersey number is. Justin Herbert ain't it. I'm sorry. He's just not. yes, Brandon Staley sucks as a coach, but I do believe at some point, what is this, year 4?
Yeah.
This is not year 2. This is not year 1. This is not year 3. This is year 4. At some point, the player has to make the plays at the end of the game. To throw an interception on 3rd down in that spot, you just can't do it.
That was after he was crushed by Micah Parsons. Just when Troy Aikman said they have neutralized Micah Parsons, he didn't do anything, but he just slammed Justin Herbert to the ground on that one play, and then they threw the pick.
So this is what I will say to Ryan and Ermanni, that at some point you do have to make plays. When you're making $275 million, you got to get the ball in the end zone. You have to be the reason they win games. I definitely understand where you're coming from, brother, and I agree. But when your head coach is a defensive coordinator by trade, when he's allowing Micah Parsons to switch side on the opposite side of where Rashawn Slater is the whole game, so they're beating up on your offensive guy, your tackle, who's terrible. When you're playing your starting quarterback, whose offhand is fractured, and oh, by the way, once you found it was fractured the week before, you still ran a quarterback sneak with a guy with a fractured hand, and that's he's playing in there. Ryan, he's giving everything he had. You see, that first down he almost got. How did he get a first down? A tip pass at the line of scrimmage. Whose fault are tip passes? Offensive line. He catches the pass, still runs for a first down. And in his rookie year, 5,000 yards as a passing quarterback. Offensive coordinator fired. 3 years later, offensive coordinator fired. His 2 head coaches, bums. His wide receivers are hurt every year. Has Mike Williams even played a game since
No,
he's
out.
He got hurt.
Has Keenan Allen played any games last year or the year before that? Austin Eckler, what did they do to him before the playoffs? They didn't play the man in the playoffs and didn't want to bring him back to pay him. So, yes, Justin Herbert has definitely got to have a moment where you see it and it's a bomb and it's game winner. But he has been in a negligent situation with the Los Angeles Chargers. That is not all him.
Can I say this too? Kellen Moore might be the most overrated coach in the entire NFL. One of the most overrated coaches. He's not. What offensive genius is he? Every time I look at San Diego,
right,
they freaking lose. Every time. And Herbert, or L.A., Herbert can't make a play. The head coach makes a boneheaded decision. The offensive play caller can't play. It's like all together, they just represent losing.
Chicago, what is it? The Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are averaging 5 yards less per play. They're averaging 5 points less per game. They're averaging 140 yards less on offense now that Kellen Moore is gone. Meanwhile, the Chargers are averaging more on offense. Kellen Moore is offensive coordinator. He can't play defense and run the team too.
I will
I'm
say
not saying
this.
he's great, but
on the Dallas side of the ball,
they're terrible too.
Troy
I agree with
Aikman
that.
was in agony last night calling this game. He was like, I don't understand. What is he looking at? Like right there, he backs up. There's the guy he should be throwing to. Joe Buck was busting his chops all night. He was like, something's off with you, Troy. And Troy was just laughing. That's his team.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a cowboy. They stink. They're not hitting.
No,
they're not hitting on all cylinders.
I agree with you.
They got a lot of talent, and they finally get to Brandon Cooks. They've been hiding this guy out for a long time. But Troy Aikman said it, man. Dak, he don't have it.
I told you. No, but one of the funny things from last night is Troy Aikman called it, you cannot get a blown assignment. You cannot get a missed coverage assignment penalty, or you can't blow an assignment in the red zone. They blew on defense. The Dallas Cowboys, they blew an assignment on the 7-yard line. There's not that many places to go. It's not like you got 60 yards to go and there's a lot of field. There wasn't even much field to run. How do you blow an assignment in the red zone on the 7-yard line? Like, that's bad coach football. That's bad defense. That's on the players. That's on the coaches. I don't know what's going on in Dallas and whatever goes on in Dallas. They just seem like a team that puts together, just a bunch of talent and just go out there. Hey, we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. They try to have more talent than you than actually coach. That's
I ain't scared of them.
Hell no.
No,
I ain't scared of them.
How about?
I feel bad for him.
How about? Did you see Troy Aikman last night when they got a shot at Jimmy Johnson?
Oh, yeah.
In the booth because
He's like, he never goes to a football game.
This is the last place Jimmy Johnson would want to be.
Yes.
Is at a football game. And then you had Jimmy Johnson, Michael Irvin, was in the stands, in the thing next to him. Troy Aikman calling the game. All we need is Emmitt Smith.
That's it.
You know
how much pain those guys are in? The triplets with Jimmy Johnson, what they could have had, the talent that this team has. They should not be struggling. And the Chargers, they're just an underachieving franchise. They're an underachieving franchise, and Justin Herbert looks lost. He just does. He looks lost. He's playing hurt, and it's the coaching.
Outside of being in L.A., which I'm sure is probably pretty cool to play, but you're a road team for 17 weeks.
They don't belong there.
No,
they belong in San Diego.
It's a road team. It's a road game for you for all 17 weeks. You pay all those taxes living out in L.A. You got to deal with all that mess in L.A. I wouldn't want to play for the Chargers. If I'm Ben Johnson, I'm not going to the freaking Chargers.
New England, baby.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
New
England.
Yeah.
Oh no,
because they could get they'll get their quarterback in the draft.
No, I say I'm going to make a shot.
You heard that too?
Yeah. He's staying.
That's
a shot. I'm telling you, he's staying. He's staying this year.
All right. Well, I hope you're right. And I hope you're right. I would just say
$6-7 million, $1.5 million.
He's got more time yet. We got time.
I appreciate Justin Herbert at the podium too. Like, I will say that he's a professional at the podium because they had 6 holding penalties. They gave up 6 sacks, and when he went to the podium, he said, my linemen, they fought hard tonight. I got to be better. Like, he took the onus of that, man. Like, his line is terrible and horrible, but he took it on the chin for him. Like, those are the type of guys you want to play with.
You know who Justin Herbert is, honestly?
Who?
Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford.
He's Matt Stafford, and that's fine.
He's just taller. Yeah.
A lot of empty numbers. A lot of empty numbers.
Yep, there's no doubt about it, guys. Nothing empty here, though. For all the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions, it's the Woodward and Main Show featuring Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Detroit's legend Terry Foster. Episodes twice a week. Sundays 8 to 9, Tuesdays 7 to 8 a.m. That is the most in-depth reporting and breakdown of the game, the players, and all things Detroit Lions. Just go to our YouTube page, Woodward Sports on YouTube. Let me just say this: we've got more incoming here on Tom Mazaway. Reverend Chris Steele paid $5 this time to say, "I love Tom. I've asked him for years to wish me a happy birthday." October 12th, by the way. And Reverend Chris Steele, we wish you a belated happy birthday.
Hey, happy belated birthday there.
He's turned a blind eye to me on X. Bentley at least follows me on X. Tom Mazaway, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Yeah, let me explain to everyone what he's talking about. He's talking about the Drew and Mike show, and it's not a Woodward problem. So he could, if he's got issues, tell him to talk to Drew. Tell him to talk to Bentley and Drew if he's got issues.
What's your issue? What's his issue?
He's a Bentley kiss ass. He treats me like crap on X. Makes fun of me, and then he wants me to say happy birthday to him. Go to hell. How about that? Suck it. Get the hell out of here.
He found you, though.
Yeah, he finds me. That's fine.
Finds you.
I got no issues. Take a walk.
Oh, man. The next comment will be worth $9.99.
Yeah, bring it on. Just keep giving us money.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we will go around the NFL. But first, a message from the Hamlin Pub.
At a bar where you are a regular, we have just the place for you. Head to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone is a regular, and join Woodward Sports for the Lions postgame show live from the Hamlin Pub on Tynkin Road this Sunday. Stick, Maz, and more will be there to break down the Lions vs. Ravens game. We will see you for our live show from Hamlin Pub on Tynkin Road this Sunday. Experience your favorite new pub for all things sports. Hamlin Pub, they're making you feel like a regular.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Cintron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win that $100,000 Vegas getaway at drinkcintron.com/Vegas and buy your Cintron at your local Meijer. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste for the choice of people who desire to look good, feel great, and be the best version of themselves with Cintron. Go to the website drinkcintron.com/Vegas for that $100,000 Vegas getaway.
Having a lot of fun, yang, on a Tuesday. Hey, if you are watching on YouTube, would you do me a favor and hit that like button for us? Let's see if we can get to over 200 likes by the end of this segment. It helps YouTube push our content out to more people, and I can't have that morning show getting more likes than us. I just can't
There
have
you go.
it.
Even for Jeff?
Not even
And
for
Sam?
Jeff. I can't even have it. So please.
I am afraid.
Those are my boys.
I love them too, but a little friendly competition goes a long way.
It does.
How about it? Very good.
I just made a trade with Jeff today in fantasy football.
Oh, what was the trade? Because everybody cares about your
I know,
fantasy team.
but the 2 of us sucked this year. So he traded me Deshaun Watson because I have no quarterbacks left. I had Anthony Richardson. God bless you.
Thank you.
And I traded him Rasheed Rice, the wide receiver from Kansas City.
Oh,
how about that?
He's a good
yeah, he's
player.
getting more and more. He's getting more and more action every
There you
week.
go.
But no one gives a damn.
You got to trade with me, man. You got to make my.
You're the first place team,
but
you don't need to make a deal.
Second place.
Second place. I got you, man.
Maz, you got a little breaking news for us?
I do. The Philadelphia Eagles. They're not afraid of anybody. They went out and got a Jones, not Marvin Jones. They signed Julio Jones.
Oh,
there you go.
Julio Jones. Where have you
go.
been, Julio? He signs on with the Eagles.
He can't play.
He can't play, right?
He's done. He's washed.
I know, but still.
Braylon Edwards.
They
could
go out.
there
Look,
and
if there's a
catch
name out there,
6 balls.
if there's a name out there,
You can do 2 plays a quarter.
Yeah. In my dream.
if there's
You
a
don't think you
name
can
out
play
there,
two-
the Eagles will sign
You
him.
don't think you can play 2 plays a quarter?
A lot of glorious cannabis, baby. A lot of glorious cannabis. No, I mean if I had 3-4 months to work and get in shape, yeah, but nah, not now, not coming off the street. Julio go in there and look, he'll be there with his boy AJ Brown. They both used to play for the Titans. Now they both play for the Eagles. It'll
They
be
can't
fun.
even find Devontae Smith. Now they're signing this guy.
That's why somebody traded him to me.
By the way, did you see
I
the
took the
guy
bait.
on Sunday Night Football? I think it was the Giants guy, actually.
Oh,
When
yeah,
they're
Justin
doing
Pugh.
Yeah, Justin Pugh, when they're doing their player introductions. He says, Justin Pugh,
Off
the
the
couch.
That was awesome.
Because he was
got
signed
signed
earlier in
today.
the week.
You know, they moved him from like guard to tackle
I
during the
know.
game, and he did very well.
Yeah.
He held up, so that was nice. So the Eagles, they sign an old ex-All-Pro in Julio Jones. The Colts
Be
looks
interesting
like
why
they
they
put
signed
the
him
white
now.
flag up. They have. Jim Irsay says that Anthony Richardson probably is done for the year. He's looking at getting shoulder surgery. So his rookie season ends after just a few games and a couple of injuries. He's going to have to learn how to slide a little. This kid is a big monster, and I think he's going to be a terrific quarterback.
Indianapolis is intriguing to me a little bit because that division sucks. And, you know, they're like a 6-7 win team, I
Yeah.
feel like, Indianapolis. But I'd rather just tank the rest of my games and try to get Marvin Harrison next year.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen because they're kind of too good to do that.
Yep.
You know?
Jonathan Taylor just came back too.
Yeah,
so
they got a good defense.
Shaq Leonard.
Or decent defense.
They do.
Yeah,
They've been in almost every
Weak
game.
schedule.
except the Jags. Jags kind of laid the lumber on them. I think that's when they put the white flag up. Officially was last week.
It's like they got the white flag up, but at the same time, Gardner Minshew's winning games too. So it's like they're like trying. Like Irsay's probably cut.
Right.
Can you imagine Irsay talking to Shane Steichen right now? Start losing games.
No, I would. I mean, hell, if your quarterback's out, pair him up with a wide receiver next year. Can you imagine Anthony Richardson, Marvin Harrison Jr., and
Jonathan
Taylor?
Yeah, that's a good trio.
You get good quickly.
Can you stay there if you're Jonathan Taylor?
Jonathan Taylor just signed a new deal.
He did?
He's sticking.
There you go.
You know who wants a deal? It's Leonard Fournette. He has put it out there to people.
Lenny.
Lombardi Lenny's calling himself. He says, hey, I'm in shape. I'm ready to help any team. The reason his name popped up today is because the Bills were going to have him in for a visit, and then that got overruled. I think Tom Pelissero or someone said he canceled that one, and he's looking for a spot. So not sure if the Bills canceled it or he canceled it, but he is out there. I know the Lions are running back short right now, but I don't see our guys signing a guy like him.
I was just laughing because like you led with he was in shape, and then that picture came up. I mean, he clearly wasn't in shape in that picture. It was just kind of funny. Like at the end of the day, Leonard Fournette, like he's probably played his last meaningful down in the NFL, and I don't mean that no disrespect. But at this point in time, these are when the guys that are trying to get on those rosters that are going to be in the playoffs or they're going to go run. They try to sneak on there. It's just kind of like the Shady McCoy with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Shady McCoy again with the Kansas City Chiefs. Look, appreciate it, LSU, but your time has come.
Hey, man, look. If David Montgomery, and again, this is no other word other than Google's. If David Montgomery is down hypothetically for 6 weeks, and maybe even more if there's a rib cartilage injury. And I think
it's more.
I just went to Dr. Google on that, by the way. I don't have any insight.
I just have to look at Dan Campbell's face.
Yeah, and that's it. Did I give you that sound? Did I give that to you?
We have it.
Did I give that to you?
Let's play it.
Watch Dan Campbell. And I did this because it reads differently. It reads much differently when he said he's going to be out a little while. It reads much differently than actually seeing Dan Campbell talk about David Montgomery's injury.
He's he's got a little something in there, the cartilage, and so it's he's probably going to be down for a little bit here. Well, I don't know how long. That'll just be really how long it takes for this to, at his position, that's not an easy thing to deal with. So we'll just take it as it comes. But, I think there's a chance we won't have him for a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. You read that and you say, oh, maybe a week or two.
I know.
That's a long-term injury,
That's
man.
a month at least.
I'm sorry to tell you, that's a long-term injury. He is not going to be on the field at least for a month. I say 6 weeks. And why wouldn't you kick the tires and bring Leonard Fournette in? I mean, he's a big back in short yardage situation. Maybe he can get 8 carries a game for you, so you don't have to put Jahmyr Gibbs up the middle. Jahmyr Gibbs is not meant to be running up the middle.
If he even plays.
He's going to play this week.
I don't know.
Yeah, and again, hear Dan Campbell talk about that too, and it sounds like Branch and Gibbs are trending upwards towards playing this week. But the Montgomery, I don't know. I mean, in my mind, I have Leonard Fournette pictured in a different way, and maybe in real life it's a different thing. But I don't know why you wouldn't kick the tires on a guy like that. And conversely, if you are Leonard Fournette, I would think the Lions present a great benefit and a great type of team for you to come. Somebody's got a really good offensive line with a really good quarterback and a damn good chance to win a division.
The reason why I wouldn't kick the tires on Leonard Fournette is last year, before coming into the season, his team called him fat, and he ended up being fat. And he had a bad year last year. The year before that, when they lost, I think, in the second round of the playoff, he didn't have a good year that year as well. So I think you've seen the steady decline, and not only the steady decline in game, steady incline in weight. So, pun intended, that's why I wouldn't take a flyer.
It's too bad you didn't have a guy like Swift. Let me go back to around the NFL. Bill
He
Belichick.
was hurt this time last year.
Bill Belichick, guys. We kind of know that he's not coaching like the old Bill Belichick. You don't have Tom Brady. This Patriot team looks old and slow. He doesn't draft well either, Ryan. I need you to read a couple of these acquisitions that he did. He drafted a couple of kickers. early in some rounds here. And you know what? Nick Folk, who kicked for the Patriots for a long time, has not missed a field goal yet for the Titans. But they said, nah, let's get rid of him and draft another guy. So 2 kickers he drafted so far have both flamed out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't read it.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm basically telling you what it is.
Parker. Go ahead.
So it says Titans kicker Nick Folk has been perfect this season, making 16 of 16 total field goals. In fact, he's been 70 for 70 in field goals made from inside the 40s since 2019 and made a total of 90.4% of his kicks in his 3 seasons with the Patriots. For some reason, Belichick used a 4th-round pick in the 2023 draft to replace him with Chad Ryland, who is only 5 of 9 in field goals this season. This comes after the team used a 5th-round pick on kicker Justin Rohrwasser in the 2020 draft. Rohrwasser never played a game in the NFL. Why did Bill Belichick use so many resources to replace his kicker that is playing so well and replacing him with lesser players?
Yeah.
So Bill Belichick's kicking himself.
He just doesn't like popular.
He's not a general manager.
He just doesn't like popular players. Like, he doesn't like drafting at position where players can be famous, or not famous, wrong word, but famous can be like individuals, if you will. He likes getting guards. He likes getting kickers. He likes long snappers. I just don't get it. Like, how do you trade freaking before the season Jacoby Myers and then you keep Devontae Parker and sign Juju Smith-Schuster? Like, this has to be a real conversation between him and Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft has to say, look, if you want to still stay on as head coach, we would love to have you, and we think we still can win with you as the head man. But if you want to hold on to the GM position and the head coaching position, it's just not going to work. We're just going to have to, we'll build, and then, like Shannon Sharp said, we'll build you a statue, we'll do all this, we'll send you a ticker tape parade. So I got to go in a different direction. Because, like, now it's getting to the point where you're making our brand look bad. You can't have all those winning years in New England, and all of a sudden you guys are the laughing stock of the NFL. It don't work like that.
Hey, guys, let me tell you about Booner and Broder. Broder and Booner.
There you go.
There you go. Booner and Broder. Look, man, it's so hard to say. Looking for some high-level sports talk for your weekly nightcap? Welcome to Woodward Nights, featuring Booner and Broder, 2 of Detroit's new and newest up-and-coming sports personalities. Weekdays from 8 to 10. Join Booner and Broder every single night. Here's some of Detroit's hottest takes right here on WSN's YouTube channel. How about we hear from Planet Fitness?
Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone, where anyone can feel welcomed at Planet Fitness and can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has a ton of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in the Metro Detroit area and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Hey guys, when it comes to your pet, do not settle for less. You know what I'm talking about. Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best Pet Store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years, 13 Metro Detroit locations. They've got over 60 brands of food, some of the lowest prices in town, and curbside delivery if you need it. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. Check them out at premierpetsupply.com.
Hey, welcome back. Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, and Tom Mazaway. We got Kool-Aid in the house today. We got Parker here. It is Tuesday, and that means it is time for Parker's weekly tears.
Let's do it.
Oh, man.
Look at this.
Look at this.
Look at this. So I'm going to put my little face, my little cute face down in the corner. So there's a new top dog in the league. New and improved, the brand new Lions.
Oh, man.
The Lions don't just have a top 5 offense, they also have a top 5 defense, and they're still winning games when down and out with some of their better players, if I'm being honest. I mean, David Montgomery goes out, they still win. The Bucs haven't had a terrible season this year. Then we'll go down to Tier 2, Miami, San Fran, Philly, Buffalo, and Kansas City. Miami's still contending, but their defense is starting to scare me a little bit against that game in Carolina.
Who's the best team of that tier? Who's the best team in your Super Bowl contender tier?
San Fran. And I'm going to get to them right now. They're not top dogs anymore, as they're pretty injured right now with losing Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, a couple guys on defense, and then it just looks like Brock Purdy couldn't get it done last week. It might be the depth might be their kryptonite this week. You got Philly, Buffalo, and Kansas City. Going down to Tier 3, the Texans. Man, this is a scrappy team, and I'm really looking forward to seeing these guys in the playoffs. They might win the division. If Jacksonville can't get it together, if they can't find a way to use Calvin Ridley in the way that we expect him to be used, the Texans might win that division. You also got the Ravens, the Buccaneers, the Rams. The Rams, who are also another pretty well-liked team in the league. Cooper Kupp is back, and they seem to be getting on to a rhythm with Kupp, Nakua, and Stafford and that offense. So you got Seattle, the Browns, the Cowboys bumped down from Super Bowl contenders just to playoff team. And then we move down to Tier 4. The Saints, and then we got the Bengals slowly making their way back up. Slow start. Let's see how they will finish this year. They've started slow the past 2 years. We got Green Bay, Washington, Steelers, and the Jets. The Jets, who are, in my opinion, a pretty similar team to what the Lions are kind of doing right now. Not as good, but this is a scrappy team with a similar mentality to where you lose your best players like Sauce Gardner, Aaron Rodgers, and they're still winning games against Buffalo and Philadelphia. Tier 5, you got New York, the Vikings, the Raiders, the Cardinals, the Chargers, the Titans, and the Colts. The Chargers, they could very easily be making the playoffs if they didn't have a guy like Brandon Staley coaching them. Raiders, same situation with the Chargers at coaching. They still need a lot more pieces to be successful. You can't rely on Devontae Adams alone to make your team a playoff contender. And then we go down to Tier 6. You got the Broncos, the Bears, the Patriots, and the Panthers. Broncos, I believe they are purposely tanking for reasons that Sean Payton liked to describe on Colin Cowherd last year, saying that teams in the NFL could be tanking for Caleb Williams going forward. Could he just been saying that, or is he doing that currently right now? Coincidence? I think not. Patriots, worst offense in the league. They definitely need to blow it all up and restart. I'm going to turn it over to you guys.
Here's my thing with it, Parker. You've got basically 20 of the 32 teams kind of still alive, and I know we're only at 6 weeks out. I would pull the Rams down to potential wild cards because that's where they would have to be. They're not winning the NFC West. I would pull the Browns down as well. I don't believe they're going to win their division. I would move the Steelers to out of the race just because of that quarterback. I am not a fan of Kenny Pickett either.
I agree with you.
But decent list. I would move, Houston, maybe they will win that division. Houston and Jacksonville I could see. So there you go. Pretty good list.
I just have one question. Is every week you've done the top tier, is the top line been top dog?
Yes.
Okay.
First week it was the Dolphins in San Francisco, and then
so you had two teams in there once. Okay.
Yes, and then last week it was just San Fran, and now we swapped the Lions up there because they deserve it.
All right.
Nice job.
No critique. I don't know if I would have San. I don't know if I would have San Fran line 2 or KC.
Kansas City is playing as good as anybody in
Yeah.
football right now, and the record notwithstanding. They could beat you in a number of different ways.
And their defense, like this year, their defense has been lights out, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Miami is concerning.
Sure,
Their
yeah.
defense is concerning. They got to get that thing together.
They're like that weird team. Like, if you fall behind, you're in trouble. But if you can run on them early, or if you slow the game down early and you score and force them, you might have a chance. You fall behind, it's tough.
They got that mad scientist, Mike McDaniels, running that team. I would not count them out. Don't forget the Lions, how bad they were in the beginning last year defensively, too. So they could still straighten it out, Miami.
Keep your eyes on that running game. Like, keep your eyes on the running game. The offensive line has been a strength for the Detroit Lions. No David Montgomery last week. We only have 40 yards rushing. Like, we got to keep an eye on that.
Mostert's picking it up, and they got Jeff Wilson Jr. They lost Achane, which was a big loss for them. He's going to be out for a month. The Rams, they lost Kieran Williams. He's going to be out for a few weeks as well. He's been doing awesome in the backfield.
Hey,
so
one of the
things
things about Chicago, you've got them out of the race. We all believe Chicago's out of the race. If you do have picks 1 and 2 this year, are you getting rid of Justin Fields? Are you picking a quarterback? And, you've got picks 1 and 2, let's say right now, because you have, I believe, Carolina's pick.
Yes.
So Carolina, number 1 overall. Bears, number 2 overall. Let's just assume that. Are you getting rid of Justin Fields? Because you could potentially trade him and get another
second-round pick.
Second-round pick.
Or keep him and trade one of your 1 or 2s and let a team that's coming up really pay to come up.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
If you believe in Justin Fields. But you've got to get rid of the coach. You've got to get rid of the general manager. And the general manager, if you get a new GM, the GM's going to want his own quarterback. So
but GM is only 2 years old. They're not going to get rid of him.
And also, they did like the Lions. They hired the head coach before Poles. So it's like another situation where Poles didn't hire the head coach. It's Poles getting punished. I don't know.
I think Eberflus goes before Poles.
It's the Bears, though. Like, at some point, like, sometimes you got to look at a franchise, and I guess that was the Lions for a long time. But sometimes you just got to look at a franchise, and they just don't get it. Like, Chicago Bears don't get it. Like, they just don't get it in all facets all around. They've been holding on to the 85 Bears forever. They draft defensive quarterbacks all the time. They draft defensive players, and the offense is poo-poo for the last 30 years. When's the last time they had a good offense? Even those Jay Cutler teams that went and lost Aaron Rodgers, offense was just okay. Defenses were lights out.
Correct. Correct. How about the Raiders? This is a story that came out of the draft. The Raiders tried their damnedest to trade up and get the number 1 pick to take C.J. Stroud. Now, who originally had that pick? Carolina, right?
Yeah.
The Raiders tried to trade with Carolina. They couldn't work it out. That's when Carolina went to the Bears and did the old switcheroo with the Bears. The Raiders wanted C.J. Stroud. I take my hat off to them. If that was the case, they knew a diamond in the rough, because this kid, he could be the real deal.
No doubt. I mean, and if you look at what Houston's doing right now, I think it's a very rare thing. I think it's rare where you have success when you have a first-year defensive head coach and a first-year rookie quarterback. And DeMeco Ryans and C.J. Stroud have had the ability to find success early in the season anyway, and they get a lot of credit for that. I think it's very rare where you have a defensive coach and a rookie quarterback kind of be able to coexist.
Yeah, I think
it's working.
DeMeco Ryans did a hell of a job in picking his offensive coordinator too, Bobby Slowick. Like, bringing in Bobby Slowick, because Bobby Slowick and C.J. Stroud are working tremendously together. Yeah.
Guys, let me give you a message from Mark White, and then we got to talk. I'm sorry. We got to talk a little baseball from yesterday and where this thing goes from here. I apologize to all of our audience, but we will talk baseball next. If you're missing it, you don't know what you're missing. I'm just telling you that right now. You have no idea what you're missing if you're not watching these baseball playoffs. We'll do it next, but first a message from Mark White.
When buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty at all? That is exactly what Mark White and Associates is offering. It's called their minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. That number again, 248-290-8242. markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Time to talk about Dispo Romeo. Open till midnight now, Michigan's largest cannabis mall. Also, Dispo, over 12 locations around the state. So wherever you are, there is a Dispo near you. The largest cannabis mall. They have all the best brands. Any way you like to consume your cannabis, you can do so. Whether it's oil, whether it's flour, whether it is edibles, they have it for you. And they work with the best people. Say hello to Riley with a Y for your homeboy over here. Dispo Romeo, your local plug.
All right, gang. I don't know if anybody's watching these baseball playoffs.
You and me are.
I couldn't hold my breath for the last 3 innings.
Bryce Harper
The
birthday.
Rangers and Astros yesterday. It was where they get off to a 4-0 lead.
The Rangers in the first inning.
Rangers got off to a 4-0 first inning lead and a solo homer. And then it was 5-1, and then solo homer, 5-2, solo homer, 5-3. And then they got to 5-4, and you're holding your breath. They got a runner in scoring position, and you're holding your breath with every pitch. And then this kid, Leclerc, boy, he couldn't.
And he's not a closer.
He kept looking around.
Yeah.
Somebody help me.
You noticed that, huh?
Somebody help me.
Somebody help me.
Somebody help me.
Yeah.
But they did make some plays in the field.
Josh Young, the third baseman, the rookie.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He bobbled that ball.
I know. He got an error earlier in the game, but he was 98% fielding percentage during the year. Top notch. It's just great.
Unbelievable.
But now Houston, did you know Houston, they won the division, but they had a worse record at home than they did on the road. So now they're 2-0, and they're going into Arlington tomorrow to play at the Rangers. And I think, I hate to say it, but I bet you the Astros have them right where they want them. And the Rangers are 7-0 in the playoffs. It's a great story. And then you put on the night game, and Philadelphia, first pitch, Kyle Schwarber, home run. Third guy up, of course, the birthday boy, turning 31. Bryce Harper, first pitch, home run. They win it. They hang on to win that game, 5-3. So Philly takes the lead over the Diamondbacks, 5-3. Game 2 today of the NLCS. Tune it on, guys.
Arizona came back and made that thing a game.
That's what I said.
Arizona had the tying run on at the plate in the 8th and the 9th.
They did.
You know?
And they hit home runs. Remember what they did? The series prior when they hit 4 straight home runs against the Dodgers.
Philadelphia feels like a sweep, though, to me.
Yeah, you think?
I don't know.
If they do, they're going to have to wait around.
I know. What do you think, Matt? Do you think Arizona wins tonight? I don't think they win tonight.
Tonight is a key tonight.
Yeah.
They got to win tonight if they want to keep this thing really in their favor. Because Philly wins at home, it's curtains.
We watched Philly last year. You know, they have one of those unfair, real home field advantage. I mean, home field advantage. If you look at it in the playoffs right now, everybody else is 6-14 or 6-19 on at home. Phillies are 5-0. We saw this last year. They dominated the playoffs, dominated the Padres at home. If the Phillies would have had home field advantage last year against the Astros, they might have beat the Astros because they're not losing at home. They didn't lose last year against the Astros at home. So now that they'll have the first round at the bank, man, like Bryce Harper and the bank, they were meant for each other.
I'm telling you, this Texas team, everyone.
What time's that game tonight? 7 or 8?
Probably a 7:30 game. probably. I don't know the exact time. I just know it's a night game.
How about the Red Wings?
Red Wings won again last night. A shutout in Columbus. Let's give it up to James Reimer. He stops 23 shots.
8 o'clock. I'm sorry. 8 o'clock game. I'll watch 3 innings.
Oh, that sucks.
8:07.
That sucks.
Oh, man.
Sorry, man.
That's a bummer.
It is. Started at 7.
Yeah.
Started at 7, so I can at least have someone to talk to during the course of the night.
I got 3 innings.
Red Wings get their second win of the year. Congratulations. They played really well. Big win. And the Penguins are coming into town tomorrow. Sid Crosby's 19th year coming in. So congrats to them. And how about MSU? Let's put up the top 25 for college basketball. Yes, MSU, you're coming in at number 4 in the preseason AP top 25.
Behind who? Kansas, Duke, and Purdue?
There you go.
Oh, my gosh.
What's his name? Came back for Purdue this year. That
He
big,
did.
that big guy.
The big guy.
Forgot his name.
From Chicago or something like that.
Anyway, he could have went to the pros. He decided to come back.
Didn't he get
That's why
suspended
Purdue
to
is
start
up
last
there.
season?
Pardon?
Didn't he get suspended to start of last
I
season?
don't remember. I don't remember. I don't pay attention to college basketball until March.
I don't even pay
But I
attention
wanted
to
to-
college basketball in March anymore.
I just wanted to bring it up so everyone could see
Right.
that Michigan State and Tom Izzo and the guys are ready to play some good basketball.
That's
Juwan
great.
Howard.
Was Michigan on the list?
Juwan Howard's still out, guys. They don't know when he's going to be coming back to coach Michigan. He had that heart issue.
I got nothing on Michigan, man.
All right.
I got nothing on Michigan.
How about
It's
Michigan State
very
basketball?
disappointing.
How about Michigan State
Yeah, I
football?
got nothing on Michigan State football. It's
Okay.
going to be a bloodbath.
All right.
Yeah.
24 and a half.
All right, now let me. Is there any possible chance that it's not a bloodbath? I ain't say that Michigan State had a chance to win, but is there any chance it's not a bloodbath?
No. No. I don't. The only way it's a chance that it's not a bloodbath is if Jim Harbaugh says,
Call the dogs
off. We're going to do power run up the middle every play.
Yeah.
And then give them a chance to,
We played a Michigan State team my junior year that I didn't think was that good. They actually ranked ahead of us. I just did not think they were that good. We ended up beating them 28-21. It was a lot closer than I thought it was.
Yeah, right?
Those were different times, though.
It is. No doubt about
Yeah.
it, guys. No doubt about it. All right, that'll be it for us today. Bray, get us out of here.
Kool-Aid, we appreciate you for stepping in. Parker, way to step up, fix that job for us. We appreciate that as well. Maz, great out of you around
Thanks,
the
man.
NFL and all things included. My brother Ryan and Ermanni, as always, you lead the show. And we appreciate you guys for tuning in day to day. You guys are making us better and better and better. As the Lions go, so do we, so do you. We all win. Appreciate you for tuning in. It's Ermanni and Edwards with Matt. See you tomorrow.